Good morning. Welcome to our morning meditation. I hope you had a wonderful weekend. Want to thank you for being here today. And today we will be focusing on balancing things in our lives. So as we get started, we will do so with these words from Ralph Waldo Emerson. From the tragic. Time, the consoler, time, the rich carrier of all changes, dries the freshest tears by obtruding new figures, new costumes, new roads on our eye, new voices on our ear. As the west wind lifts up again the heads of the wheat which were bent down and lodged in the storm, and combs out the matted and dishevelled grass as it lay in the night locks on the ground, so we let in time as a drying wind into the seed field of thought which were dark and wet and low bent. Time restores them to temper and elasticity. How fast we forget the blow that threatened to cripple us. Nature will not sit still. The faculties will do somewhat. New hopes spring, new affections twine, and the broken is whole again. Time consoles, but temperament resists the impression of pain. Nature proportions her defense to the assault. Our human being is wonderfully plastic. If it cannot win this satisfaction here, it makes itself amends by running out there and winning that. It is like a stream of water which, if dammed up on one bank, overruns the other, and flows equally at its own convenience over sand or mud or marble. Most suffering is only apparent. We fancy it is torture. The patient has his own compensations. In many traditions, it is believed that if you speak out loud your words of goodwill and intention, that it gives those words power and strength in the universe. And therefore, today I would like to offer up those in our lives, people that we know who are finding and struggling with finding balance in their lives, whether that be from work, overwork, stress, um, finding ourselves with too much screen time, or finding ourselves too easy to be get to for people to get a hold of us. But there are many people right now who are just struggling with finding that work life, that family life, that uh, personal life balance. And so I offer all of those up in our intentions today as we go forward for this week and looking at balance as our kind of theme for the week. So I invite you to now offer up an intention for anyone that you feel needs an offering today, and enter their name into the comments below, or to speak their name or the group of people out loud and offer them strength and goodwill as we gather today in meditation and reflection. We speak of that which we carry in our hearts as a sign that we are connected to a larger world around us. I now bind not only that which has been said and made out loud and made known to us, but that which is held in the hearts of each of us as individuals with the love and strength of this community as we engage our time together. I invite you now to readjust your body, to, if you are able to, take a moment to turn your chair towards a light source or some other source of inspiration. As you can see, I have, my altar behind us. That may be something that you want to think about creating, some type of space that is for you just to have some quiet time, some reflection time as we go forward. First we'll start out, as always, by stretching out our bodies. So I'll invite you to just raise your arms over your head and stretch out if you can. Stretch out as long as you can. And then bring your arms down to your side and just kind of relax with them straight out. Maybe roll your wrists a little bit. Stretch out and drop your arms down. I invite you to move your neck from side to side. Just stretching just a little bit. And then bring back to center and forward and back. To take a nice deep breath and let the oxygen flow through your body, and just kind of open your chest up, and if you are able to, shake out your legs, maybe stretch your ankles out a little bit, your calf muscles, and we'll continue to settle in as I share with you the source of our inspiration today. As you know, on Mondays I'm pulling a card from my Ascended Masters Oracle card deck. And today, the card that was pulled was Balance, Career, and Home Life. And the Ascended Master that is being offered up is Isis. Isis, so you'll know, is the much revered Egyptian goddess who symbolizes feminine strength and power. She was the sister and the wife of Osiris. She's the goddess of life and magic. She's seen as the protector of women and children, and she's a healer of the sick. Isis is available to help you find enough time and energy to enjoy all aspects of your life, if you will ask her for assistance. Isis demonstrated a balanced life as a great spiritual leader, devoted wife, and mother. Isis reminds us to keep balance in our lives. She asks us to focus on what is lopsided in your life right now. She guarantees to us that we know what that is, and she gives us an opportunity to help to balance that out. She asks us to look at balancing career and family and personal friend time, in our lives. She reminds you to not only allow yourself to find balance, but she also asks us to make sure that we're avoiding burnout in our lives, finding ways to feed our soul and not allow ourselves to be sucked into things that are taking energy and taking away from living a life that is balanced and happy and joyful. She asks us to shift our energy to things that bring positive energy and joy into your life, and to reorganize our priorities. Isis is the lover of and healer of children, and she reminds us that we need to take care of our inner child. I know that in my life I have too many times said that I need to do this, when I really wasn't that I needed to, but I wanted to, or I was doing something to avoid doing something else. And especially in ministry, there's a time and a place where we always get to, as ministers, we always say that there's no part-time ministry. And what that means is that there's always a need. There's always somebody who needs some spiritual care. As a community organizer, there's always a justice argument or a struggle to engage. There's always somebody in need. But we also need to figure out, what do we need to attend to? What do we want to or desire to attend to? So I want to invite you to, during this week, when we look at balance, that we balance that term, need to. What does it look like to say that we need to do something versus we want or desire to do something? Um, when we want to desire to do things that bring us joy, balance, happiness, feeds our inner child. So we'll begin by, as we always do, by breathing together. And we'll take a few deep breaths. And as always, I'll ask you to hold for about 2 seconds and then release. So we'll take a nice deep breath in through your nose and release. And release. And release. And release. Our meditation today and our reflection time is about deeper introspection. So, our card and inspiration with Isis is to ask ourselves and reflect on what is balance in our lives. So, the first question that I'll ask you is, what is your playtime? How much are you at play, doing things that bring you joy just for you and not for anyone else? I ask you to look at how can you delegate your work to others. Work at both home and career. How many of us right now are not even leaving our house? So there's no other option than to bring your work home. And how are you shutting down? How are you closing out your work day and taking things on that you could delegate to someone else? So, how are you sharing the wealth of responsibility to things that maybe you might feel like you need to do, but you really could delegate to someone else in your work environment? How are you balancing your home life? Is there delegating there that needs to be done? Sharing, doing the cleaning, the cooking, the laundry, the shopping. Are these things that can wait? Are they things that you feel stressed or pressured about that maybe can be distributed over not only with members of your family or friends, but over time? Are there things that you don't need to do right now, but can uh, wait? Some things can't, but are there things that can wait so that way you can enjoy a little bit more time that you have with yourself, family, friends, etc.? Are you saying no to unrealistic demands upon your time? Are you honest with yourself in keeping healthy boundaries in aspects of your work and home, in your home life? Are you making sure that your needs are being met and that you're engaging ways that are healthy for you? Um, Whether or not other people see that, how do you judge and gauge what is healthy for you? Now we'll shift gears a little bit. I've been talking about overwork, either at work or at home or, in different spaces. But balance comes in many forms. It isn't just about overwork, but it's also about underwork. Are you spending too much time in front of the TV, playing video games, on social media? Are these things becoming time and energy suckers? Are they just taking the energy out of you? Do you need to find creative outlets for your downtime? Volunteering, but not to the extent that it is overburdensome. Finding creativity, art, music, meditation, exercising, learning something new, finding a new project that is enjoyable and giving you life and feeling. At the end of the day, Isis reminds us to find balance in all that we are doing. We are reminded to spend more time devoted to activities that make our hearts sing with joy. I invite you to reflect more on that over these next few moments of silence, on what brings you joy and how you can find more balance in your life. May we say together, Blessed be. I want to invite you, as I always do, to send me your thoughts and your intentions. If you have a group that you would like me to offer up in our intention time or spiritual practice that you'd like to have shared, I invite you to send that to me and let me know what your thoughts are. Also, I want to thank you for being here today. I hope you have a wonderful week, and we'll, engage these meditations, all of this week, and we'll have a good time together. So, as we leave our space today, may we, as we always do, send each other off saying that we believe in something greater than ourselves. We send peace into the world. We recognize that the divine in each of us is valuable and loved and deserves to be joyful and happy. And we send goodwill into the world as we say together, Amen, Amin, Shalom, Salam, Namaste, and blessed be.